Okay, hello guys. Today these pens are talking to you and teaching you English. No, I'm kidding. I'm talking to you and teaching you English. These pens are just going to help me to visualize and demonstrate what I'm speaking in English on the slides. Alright? Today we're going to talk on one of the most confusing issues for most English learners, which is prepositions. So prepositions are difficult to learn because they are different from language to language. So what you think makes sense in Vietnamese may not make totally perfect sense in English, and the other way around. And that's why we are going to practice a lot in order to ace prepositions and to feel really confident when we speak English. So first, we are going to learn on the combination of verbs and prepositions. If you can look at the pictures, number one, I often listen to the radio. I often listen to the radio. To listen to is to give attention to something in order to hear it. To listen is different from to hear. And how are they used differently? Do you know the difference between to listen and to hear? To hear is just to receive the sounds, whereas to listen to, meaning to hear with a purpose and to hear attentively. Alright, so you want to listen to the radio because you are attentively receiving the sounds from the radios. You want to listen to your teachers in your class. You want to listen to your parents when they tell you something, right? But you may hear the noise from the neighborhood, right? So the next one that we have here is to agree with someone. From the picture we have thumbs up, agree with. Paul doesn't like it, and I agree with him. To agree with him, meaning to have the same opinion with someone or to share the same opinion with someone, to think similarly or to feel the same way about something. Alright, now I'm going to give you another way to express your agreement with someone. You can say, I agree with him, or you can say, I can't agree with him more. So you can say, I agree with him, or I can't agree with him more. I can't agree with you more, meaning I totally agree with whatever you're saying. The next one, we have a disease, diabetes. Diabetes, it may look difficult. So what is the meaning of diabetes? Diabetes is a serious disease in which the patient cannot control the level of sugar in their blood. If you have old people like your grandparents at home, they may suffer from diabetes because a lot of people, when they age, they fail to control the level of sugar in their blood. So if you have diabetes, you're not happy, of course, and that's why you have here to suffer from diabetes. In this example, we have he suffers from a type of diabetes. The stress of the words here, diabetes, bệnh tiểu đường, diabetes, right? So to suffer from diabetes, meaning to suffer pain, to feel painful out of the disease. Next one, we have to depend on. Now, if we look at different signs for the weather, sun, cloudy, thunderstorms, rain, drizzle, windy, blustery. Alright, snow. We have a lot of different types of the weather. And you may go out, of course, when it doesn't rain, and if on a rainy day, a lot of people prefer staying home to feel more comfortable, right? So a lot of people will go out if the weather is nice, the weather is not rainy. So here we have, I may go, but it depends on the weather. To depend on something, meaning to rely on something, and the weather in this case is the deciding factor for me to go right now. Last one, on this one, we have the Eiffel Tower, which is a very romantic place that a lot of you guys may have heard of before. And this couple are hand in hand, facing the tower, and probably they are getting married very soon. So we have to get married to get married to, and this is the past tense. So get, it's put into the past tense. He got married to a girl he met in France. Alright, so we have to marry someone, but to get married to someone, to marry someone, no prepositions needed, to get married to someone, alright? So if you want to use to get married to talk about a status of being married to someone, the preposition to is needed. Okay? And now, we are going to learn on the combinations of verbs and prepositions. First, we have a sad face over here, and I think we should apologize for being late. Now in British, this is the letter S, right? In American English, people would use Z instead of S. So I'm going to note it here. Right? So in American English, people use the letter Z instead of S, as in British English. And the words are pronounced exactly the same. So I think we should apologize for being late. To apologize for doing something, verb ing form, right? So to apologize for doing something is to say sorry because you have done something that you don't want or you regret doing. Application form. I have a little question for you. Are you with a job at the moment? Are you working or are you a student? If you are a student, then what kind of job do you want in the future? Of course, whichever employers that you want to work for, whichever companies or organizations or institutes that you want to be a part of, you have to write a CV and a cover letter with a beautiful resume about your past activities and qualifications and your achievements or things like that. So you want to apply for a job, right? So here, she has applied for a new job. To apply for a job, meaning to make a written request in order to have an opportunity to get an interview with the employer so that you can be offered a job, for example, right? This is a man. Oh, sorry, this is not the, probably, we are going to do this one first. So a smiling face. Don't worry about your exam. It will be okay. Alright, so I have a few students who are taking exams at the moment, and they don't like exams, of course. And some teachers may tell you, don't worry too much about your exams, meaning don't feel so nervous about your exams. You will do okay. Everything will be okay. You will do fine. You will be fine. If you learn enough and practice enough, of course. So we have, don't worry about your exam, or don't be nervous about it. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous about your exam, alright? The teachers were satisfied with his progress. Now the teacher, does he look happy or does he look unhappy? He looks very satisfied. He's happy about his student, right? So his teachers were satisfied with his progress, meaning the teachers were totally happy about how well the students have got so far. Okay, now let's talk about eating out. Do you usually eat in at home or do you usually eat out at a restaurant? Of course, there's good and bad to cooking at home and eating out. But if you choose to go out to a restaurant and order food, you may have problems or may not with the managers or the staff, right? And if you are not happy with the food that you get or with the services that are offered at the restaurant, you may complain to the manager about the issue. So we have to complain to somebody about something. She complained to the manager about the food, meaning she said that she was not satisfied with the food that she has, right? So to complain to someone about something, meaning to say that you are not happy, you are not satisfied with the services and the things, the products or the services that you have got from the producers or the suppliers. The next example that we have here, he must have done a lot of shopping, right? And if you go shopping a lot, if you do a lot of shopping, you may spend a lot of money on it, right? So we have to go shopping, which is probably very popular among the girls, and to do the shopping. Forget my bad handwriting. So we have to go shopping, to do the shopping, to do the shopping. So the article the is needed if you want to use do. He spends a lot of money on clothes, meaning you buys a lot of things and you pay for the things that you have bought, right? Using your cash or credit cards or whichever methods of payment that you have. Here we have the Spanish flag. They're going to translate the book into Spanish. So to translate is to change words or phrases or text from a certain language to a source language, right? So to translate Vietnamese into English, to translate English into Spanish. And we have to belong to. We are talking about ownership here. The dictionary belongs to Rob, meaning Rob has the dictionary. The dictionary is owned by Rob. So Rob has the ownership of the dictionary. Fair enough. For example, this pen doesn't belong to me. It depends to Youth English School, right? So I don't have this pen. I'm using it, but it's not mine. It doesn't belong to my ownership. Alright, and last phrase that we have on this page that we're going to learn today. I'm thinking of going to France. I'm thinking of going to France. So, I think is different from I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Good, bad, alright? So you are considering whether something is good or whether you should do something, right? So I'm thinking of going to France. I may go if I can afford my trip, or I may not go if I'm not financially strong, for example, right? So I'm thinking of, meaning you are considering doing something that is a future possibility. It may happen, it may occur in the future. So you suggest a possibility that may happen in the upcoming future. You say, I'm thinking of, alright? You can also say, I'm thinking of getting married to that Spanish guy that I met last week. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so what do you think about the prepositions that we learned so far? Are they difficult? Or are they too simple and too easy for you to learn? Well, some prepositions are made simple and they are born this way probably, and some are more tricky because if they are used in different contexts, they may refer to different meanings. I'm going to give you 3 examples today of the different usage of confusing prepositions. Okay? So, the verb shout. If you look at this picture, if you say, he shouted to me, he shouted to me, meaning he tried to call me, like, hi there, he shouted to me. He tried to communicate, he tried to make contact with me from a distance, right? So we are very distant and he wanted to call me like, hi, how are you? Where are you going, right? So he shouted to me. He tried to call me from a distance. But if he shouted at me, again, he shouted at me, to shout at something is very negative and you don't want that. He shouted at me, meaning he was angry, he was frustrated, and he wasn't happy with whatever I did. And, hey, how come you did this? How? Why did you do this to me? I'm not happy, right? So your mom may shout at you if you are not a good child, right? And so to shout at means to be angry, to talk loudly at someone because you are not happy with something that they did, right? So shout to me. Shout to someone means positive, talking to someone, whereas to shout at someone, meaning, you know the meaning. Excuse me. The next verb that we have is to throw, right? To throw. I just throw my pen away. Hope it's not damaged yet. So to throw, the past form of the verb to throw. To throw is the infinitive form. We have threw. Threw is the past form of the verb to throw, right? If you say, he threw the ball to me. He threw the ball to me. Like, look at the picture, right? They are playing a game. This person is throwing the ball to this boy in order to catch the ball, right? So, for someone to catch the ball, to throw the ball to me. In this sentence, he threw the ball to me. Now, if you use at, to throw at. Now, if you don't like someone, you may, for example, if you go to a musical concert, where maybe your favorite singers are performing, like you are going to a musical concert by Elton John, for example, and some anti-fans or the people who don't like him may throw tomatoes, right? And run cucumbers at Elton John for performing badly, for example. They throw tomatoes at the singer. So to throw at something is not very nice, right? So let's take a look at the example that we have here. Someone in the crowd threw a bottle at the police in order to hit them, in order for him to feel the pain, right? And he was very angry. Oh, look at the picture. We have a very good demonstration over here. Look at the car. So this is probably the police car with lights in here, police car. And this strong, muscular man probably have some issues with the police. So he's throwing something at the police car in order to damage it, to hit it, right? So throw to, throw at, totally different meanings, right? I'm going to give you one more example that is not enclosed in the slide. We have no more space, probably. Alright, so we're going to use the little space that we have in here. To arrive. Alright, to arrive, right? To arrive. If you arrive at Nội Bài Airport, it's a small location, it's a specific place, right? But you say you arrive in Hanoi, because Hanoi is a big city. So we say you arrive at Nội Bài Airport. You arrive at Nội Bài Airport or Heathrow Airport in London, and you arrive in Hanoi or in London, in Ho Chi Minh City, alright? Arrive at a small location, arrive in a big city. Okay, so again, we have learned three verbs that are confusing, that may confuse you guys when you learn, because they're used with different prepositions that could indicate different meanings. To throw at, arrive in, and what is the other one that we've learned? I'm going to have a look at it. Alright, to shout to and to shout at. Alright guys, so let's talk more about the combination of adjectives and prepositions. If you are a good student, you probably like mathematics at school. So if you say, I was very good at mathematics, meaning you are very skillful at the subject, right? She's afraid of flying. Alright, to be afraid of, meaning to be scared of something. We have synonyms. Alright, I'm going to write the synonyms here for you guys to easily see them. So we have scare, of, right? Frightened, of, and afraid of. These three words mean exactly the same, and you can use any of them to talk about your fear if you have it, but you shouldn't. For example, you can say, she's afraid of flying. She doesn't like flying. She's not comfortable when it comes to getting on a plane, right? So she's afraid of flying, or she's scared of flying, or she's frightened of flying. Now, fish. I'm not very keen on fish. To be keen on is to like eating something. So if you say, I'm not very keen on fish, meaning fish is not your favorite dish. Now, do you have siblings? By the way, do you have a brother or a sister? Is your brother or sister similar to you or different from you? Right? So we have to be similar to someone and to be different from someone. For example, she's similar to her older sister, but very different from her brother. Again, to be similar to be different from. Here we have to be interested in, which is, I'm sorry about the crossing, interested in. He's very interested in photography. Alright, so this guy is probably very passionate about taking pictures and playing with his little camera. So we say photography is his hobby, photography is his favorite pastime, or he's very interested in photography. Now, to be keen on and to be interested in are synonymous, and you can use any of them comfortably. Alright, so let's go through everything that we have on this page in case that you have forgot some of the important words that we've learned today. To be good at, to be afraid of, to be scared of, to be frightened of, to be keen on, to be similar to be different from, to be interested in. One more time. Now you can rewind the tape. I think here, this is the last line that we have here. To be surprised at. Alright? For example, you don't think that you will get grade A in mathematics for your final exam, but you get it, you have it finally. Or similarly, you don't expect to get any presents or gifts on your birthday, but then you get some gifts from your best friends, for example. So you are surprised. It may be a nice surprise, it may be an ugly surprise. Here we have, I was surprised at the way he reacted. He's usually very calm. If you say, I was surprised at the way he reacted, he's usually very calm, meaning he's too angry or too frustrated, and it's not something that you expected. Now, to be aware of. To be aware of is to know something. Okay? So, for example, if you say, I know what you are thinking, it means that I'm aware of what you are thinking. I'm aware of what she is suggesting, right? So to be aware of is to know something. And to know something well is to be fully aware of. To be fully aware of something is to know something very well. I think she's aware of the problems in her class, meaning she knows exactly about the problems that are happening in her class. I'm tired of what people telling me what to do. To be tired of. Okay, now I'm going to give you a very simple example. Do you hate it when your parents tell you to clean your room all day and you don't do it? Some children are not comfortable when their parents make them clean the room or make up your table or whatever, because they hate to be told what to do. They hate people telling them that they should do this and they shouldn't do that, right? So to be tired of something, meaning to have had enough of something, and to want no more of that thing, right? So to be tired of people telling you what to do is when you are so tired and you want some freedom, you want to do something on your own without people talking a lot. And the TV set over here, wrong with. There is something wrong with the TV. Something wrong with the TV. Can you get the meaning of it? If you say there is something wrong with this pen, it means that this pen is not working. It's not working. It has run out of ink. No more ink. It's not functioning well, right? Now, if this microphone, is not working, you can say there's something wrong with this mic. Alright, and the last picture of the slide, and also the last picture of this lesson, you have a pool and a lot of students, right? So we have to be full of something. As it's the school holiday, the pool was full of children. To be full of children, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? You have a lot of students in the pool. So the pool is full of students, right? To be full of something. Now you can say the street is full of vehicles, right? Or the house is full of people. It's so noisy, right? A little note with pronunciation. You don't say full. You don't say full. Why? Because now we have different U. Alright, so here we have oo, the long oo, and the short oo, right? So we don't say fool. Fool is not correct because oo is not that long. Alright? You want to say a short oo. So say fall. So that's the correct pronunciation. And my name is KimPhuong. Until next time, take care.